Menina, não estão trabalhando. Ok, ok. You are in YouTube. Hi, everybody. Hi, for people from YouTube. Hi, Lucas.
Hello.
Here, Talk, and today we're talking about advice and paths of to how to learn a new language. Talk is a language platform. Here you can learn the language that you wanna. You can practice some languages like English, Italian, Spanish, French, and another are coming. And here you can be free to make mistakes. Don't worry about pronunciation. The best way come here to practice with us in this immersion with another. And Talk is a good environment for this because everybody trying to respect each other because it's one of the rules to go this immersion. And I think it's this. I'm Rosalia. I'm living in Joinville, Santa Catarina. I'm married, and today by this conversation, I'm one of the hosts here in Talk. And you will start with Lucas. Present yourself, please.
Yes, of course. I'm Lucas. I'm 24 years old. I live in São Paulo. I'm married to. I'm a pharmacist. I work at a hospital. I like to hang out with my family, with my wife. I like to play video game, play soccer, watch movies, series, and yeah, I think it is.
Okay, thank you. How long you are studying English?
Um, about 5 years. Because I
Yeah.
started, I studied 2 years in Wizard, and
Mm,
after that, I keep studying alone.
okay. You start to study before pandemic or during pandemic?
Before, I think,
Before
yeah, I
in 1999, more or less.
yes.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I think the
No,
same
sorry.
time.
So 6 years because we are in 2024. So
Yeah.
6 years ago, because it
Uh,
was before the pandemic.
yeah. I start in July before pandemic. I think it's that because I remember that I had uh, make my first travel abroad. Then there, I think my first was to Portugal because I think it's the same languages. But
Mhm.
there, I realized that I need to study because there's many tourists. You need to talk, and without know any language is a little harder. Then I make decision to start, and I start with a course. I bought the course for six months because
Mhm.
promise that I will speak in 6 months, but I never had student nothing before. I only know simple words like uh, how are you? I love you. The books on the table is only the, the phrase that I know in this time. Then I make decision to buy this course. I had used this course for 6 months. Then after this, I stood alone. Then I had bought another Cheater Prix. Then after 2 years, I said I need to find someone to start to practice because I can understand, I can listen, but I don't speak. I never had someone to speak. Then suddenly I find talk and start to practice and go on. The best way I think is practice.
Yes, of
Hi
course.
Christian. Hi Christian, you back.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Well, I remember that I marked the French immersion, but I got the link English immersion link. So I wanna continue here because I didn't get
Mm,
the other link. So let's continue here.
oh, okay. Present yourself, please. I'm happy to to be here with me. for you to be.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear to be here with you in the English immersion. That's interesting because we were participating in Spanish immersions,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, let's do it. Hello everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Christian Jimenez. I am from Bolivia. However, I live in Brazil today. I live in Curitiba, Paraná. I work as a full stack software developer for a Brazilian institution. I got relocated 2 years ago to Brazil by my company as well. And I'm 36 years old. I love learning languages. I currently can speak Portuguese, English, and I'm trying to learn French on my own. I really like sports. I love football, volleyball, um, and that's it. A little bit about me.
Okay, thank you. And question, it's possible for you to learn languages without a teacher? And when and how can absence of a teacher negatively interfere with the language learning?
So I think that it's impossible to learn a new language without a teacher, but it depends how do you see the learning process, or how do you want, or how which level do you want to reach in your English
Mhm.
journey? For example, obviously if you go just to another place and you are living there, for example, to the United States, where nobody speaks Portuguese in this case, obviously you will learn how to communicate with people, but you are not gonna learn in the right way. For example, to your English level won't be that good enough to study, for example, their a degree or a post graduation, right? I think that it depends. It depends absolutely on the context, but I think that that's important to have a teacher. It doesn't matter if it's an online teacher or if you have found a course online. You are having a teacher because the teacher
Yeah,
is there. Obviously, you are not you are not having a person as a teacher. Maybe it's a person, but it's a video, right? But
yeah.
you don't have that person that is correcting you or trying to solve the doubts or that you have on the language. So I would say, in my opinion, it's impossible to learn really learn a new language without a teacher.
Yeah, I totally agree with you because don't matter if you say I'm learning alone for my own, but it's not. Okay, you need to have your daily day because you need to be all the time here trying to learn a little bit every day, but you need to have someone that have prepared this lesson. Okay, you are in YouTube, you are find some kind of lesson, but someone had put there and had prepared all the paths to learn. Then there is a teacher on another side. If you want to learn without a teacher, depend of the level, like you said, depend of the level you wanted to learn. At the beginning, when I start to learn, I always said, I don't want to learn to write or something like this because I'm not looking for a job, only to learn, to travel, to make communication. But depend after a while, I realized that I need to learn some grammar because it's impossible to speak without know some grammar. Okay, you are talking, you are learning grammar too, but you need to have a little steps to learn this because it's not easy, and you need to have a teacher the other side. Okay, you don't you pay for this teacher, but you catch your lesson, you use this lesson. Uh, a teacher had prepared already. And you, Lucas.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. And I think it's very hard to learn language by yourself because in my case, I'm not an organized person, so I have difficult to organize my routine, my study routine. So every week I try to to organize. Like I try to study 3 times a week, but it's almost impossible for me because I am a teacher. I need to to stay in the chair and take my notebook and start to study. And this is really hard because I don't know. I try to study Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That is my immersion. But every Monday I have something to do, so I don't study. And Wednesday, I need to. I don't know. I wake up late, and I think, oh, well, tomorrow I will study, and I never study.
Yeah.
And this is and this is very hard. And yeah, I think when you study alone, we we get in the level because we don't have the teacher to talk to. Oh, we need to study more this, more that. And I think it's possible to talk the basic or intermediate, but I think really hard to get advanced or fluent alone.
Yeah, I totally agree with you because it's not easier to be all the time organized. I'm not an organized person too because when I start to study, I put in my mind I need to study every single day. At the beginning, it's okay, but alone is not easier. Then when I find a group that is it's become easier because have they there, then I find them that is different. Uh, the next one, number 2. What is the best difficult part to study English alone, especially the born part to study alone? Lucas, you said the organization, there is not organization, but what is the difficult part, the harder part?
Oh, I think in the past was because I didn't practice English, so I just studied by myself. I watched videos and I tried to read, write, but it's very sad and bored because we don't have anything to try to speak to choose what you learn, and this is boring because you just study and you think, oh, I can understand, but I don't, I can't speak because you don't have anything to any person to
And you
speak.
want to speak?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. And this is, I think it's very bored.
yeah, I know it. And you, Christian?
So I absolutely agree with Lucas. I think that the most boring part in learning learning new language journey is the grammatical part. Try to remember all of the words, all of the rules. And as well, I think the other part that it's so difficult for us as a Latinos or as people who lives in South America, it's the pronunciation. If we compare our pronunciation, our phonetic with English, for example, it's so
Mhm.
difficult to know how to pronunciate the words because we don't read as the word is written there. I don't know how it's in Portuguese this because for example I speak Spanish. So in Spanish you read in the way that the word is written. I think in Italian is the same. But
Italian.
for example, for me that I speak Spanish and I go to English, you have to change almost everything about your pronunciation and your phonetic. And it's the same thing now that I am learning French. French has a lot of vowels, for example. There are a lot of combination of vowels that change everything the way that you pronunciate a word. So I think that is the most difficult part. The most boring part, obviously, for me is grammar. As well, one of the most difficult as well is are in fact are the outputs. what are the outputs in English, for example, is the speaking and the writing, because the outputs it's kind of easier because you don't have to do that effort that you do when you try to speak. You just receive the information, okay, and you in your mind are working with that or are trying to analyze it and trying to translate in your mind. So normally the outputs are the more difficult. The inputs are the easiest one.
Yeah, I
And what
just
about?
what I do.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, what about you, Rosalia?
Oh, sorry. For me, I think it's the same because grammar, no, don't matter the language that you are studying, you need to know more about the grammar. It's the boring part, I think, because no one like to study grammar. I think everybody is the same. I think it's so boring when we are trying to understand. It's difficult. You, oh my gosh, it's becoming boring. Then you are there, you are alone trying to understand. It's so difficult. Thank you God I have a friend that always that you wanted to study grammar. She asked me, then you are study together because you can enjoy this time, because I think when you are a student you need to enjoy this time. Don't matter if you are alone or not, but alone is I think it's hard to enjoy the time. But if you are with a friend, I think it's the better way to learn. It don't matter the language, don't matter the steps. I think it's that. But like you said, the input it's okay. And put, oh my gosh, it's difficult to put away all the things that you are studying. Sometimes you listen, oh my gosh, I understand everything that languages. I'm a fluent, but only you are trying to speak, oh my gosh, you don't know nothing. Yeah. And the next one, number 3. Question, can you read the number 3 and answer first?
Sure. Question number 3. How do you organize your study time? Well, I created kind of a habit, not just a habit, a schedule. So during the week, the work week that is for me from Monday to Friday, I have to study at least 1 hour of French every morning, every in mornings in mornings
Mhm.
in mornings. I don't know.
On
Uh,
morning. Yeah. Okay. It's
then
grammar.
it's grammar. I don't remember if it's in on. I
Oh,
think that
yeah.
it's on Monday. Okay,
Yeah.
on mornings, and then I have to participate in English immersion, as well, at least 1 hour per day. Um, Another thing that I usually do is listening French while I am working. I listen at least 3 hours of French every day just because to improve my listening skills in French, because I think that that works for me. The inputs of listening, it's really
Mhm.
important now that I am learning French, and I do the same with English. Even though I think that my listening in English is really good, but I continue doing that because it's so important. Do
Mhm.
that kind of exercises every day. Um, I do I think 30 minutes of exercises in French, because now I am still learning the grammar part of French. That is kind of the most difficult for me because, as I already said, French is kind of crazy when you combine the vowels and the way you pronounce it. But the how you create, for example, simple present, past continuous, all of that grammar parts are kind of similar as in English. So I don't have so much problems with that. I just have problems with the words, how to conjugate the verbs, just with that part. But it's kind of that's the way that I organize my time every week for studying a new language.
Oh, a good way to study.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I had some schedule to study, but after a while, I stopped. Then I only participated here. I think if one day I stop to participate here, my study will be crazy because I don't have a schedule to do only to participate here and prepare my immersion. Then I think it's a good way to continue to study because you need to be prepared to have this immersion. Then it's helped me a lot in this way. And French, no, English and Italian. I wanted to study French, okay? I had studied for 4 months at the beginning. I had make the basic, but I said this year I will start, but I think it's the next year, maybe, because I don't have this wish to learn French. I don't know why, but I think English, Spanish, and Italian, it's okay for me.
One more.
One more, maybe, I don't know. But for now, it's okay. Then I don't have it all the time. Then I'm trying to keep one more immersion in Spanish to be continue in these 3 languages. I think that it is enough for me. And you, Lucas, how do you organize your study time?
Well, I try to study every Monday and Wednesday. I study watch videos and I write in the notebook. And after about 30 minutes study, I try to do active recall. That is a review about what I study without consultation in my notes. And every Thursday, I'm here practicing what I studied during the week. So what I studied Monday and Wednesday. And in the future, probably next month, I will start to study French. I don't know how I will put in my week. I asked to Fernanda do to me a study schedule because I don't know how she learned. She learns French and Spanish in the alone by herself, and I wanted to learn by myself too, and I asked help to her.
Yeah,
Sorry,
look,
Lucas.
have it.
Are you? Sorry, Lucas. Are you Fernanda's husband, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Ah,
I
okay. That's good to know.
Yeah,
Nice
yeah.
to meet you. Yeah, she's really, really good at language learning.
Yeah, Lucas have a teacher inside of the house.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good way. And the next one, understand and speak. What is the big difference for you, Christian?
So I think that I already responded this question, but well, understanding is process the information that you are receiving. It's organize all of that information in your mind and just keep there in your mind and try to find the meaning what one people or something else is trying to convey to you. And speak is obviously it's the opposite, right? You have to create that information in your mind and try to convey that information to your mouth first of all.
Yeah.
Then your mouth has to create all of that articulation, all of that sounds, because it's not just a work that is in your mind. It's a organization of, I would say, all of your body, because all of your body works in the is a communication. It works as a communication body. So you have to use your mind, your mouth, your hands, everything, your face,
Yeah.
and you have to use all of them to express something in the right way. So that's why speaking is so difficult, I think.
Yeah,
And
and the one you are sleep, for example, in the middle of the night, you are dreaming, then you dream you are speaking English so in this good way. I don't know if it's happened with you because when I have something in English to do, now it's different, but in the past I had passed all the night speaking in English in my dreams. Then when I need to speak, I make a lot of mistakes. So, oh my gosh, it's so hard in all the languages, same thing. When I had travel now, I stay for 1 week after to back. In the middle of the way, the night I wake up and I was speaking English and Italian, all the languages. I said, "Oh my God!" When I was there, I had made so many mistakes. Why I am speaking so in so good a way in my dream, and I can speak when I speak the right way. But it's happened for with you all. Dream that you are speaking so big, so well.
Well, I already had some dreams in English. I felt really really great when I got my first dream in English, because people say that when you have your first dream in English is because you are becoming, I'm not sure if fluently, but you are assimilating the language in your mind.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks ago, I had my first dream in French. I was dreaming that
Oh.
my mom was talking to me in French. It was so funny, but I am so happy. Something interesting as well is that my wife, she's Bolivian, and she's learning Portuguese now. She dreams in Portuguese. There are sometimes that she's talking in Portuguese with someone else. I think with her students, because she works as a teacher. So sometimes she's complaining with her students in her dreams. That's so fun.
So fun.
In Portuguese.
Yeah, and you, Lucas, have you have some dreams speaking in English or another language?
Yes, I had. And yeah, this is very cool. And I don't know, seems so easy to talk in English in my dream. And I think it's because we study a lot the language, and it's a way that your brain have to ask it to help, because we have to study English and we talk in Portuguese. Who speaks more than three languages? The brains. Oh my God, which language are you using now? And this is very interesting when we dream of talking English or another language.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
no,
Sorry.
go ahead. I'm
Okay.
finished.
When you are listening something another language, then you can understand everything. You think, I'm in the way now, I'm understand everything, then I'm fluent now because I understand everything. You think that it's okay.
Well, I think it's because actually, in my case, I I watch more and listen more than I speak.
Mm,
So, like, I studied English about 6 years, and I passed, I don't know, 3 or 4 years just listen, watching videos and not practicing. So in my mind, it's more easy to understand than to speak.
mm,
And I think it's just practice.
mhm.
If I think I started to speak when I started to learn English. I think this problem will be, I don't know, less. Yeah, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, I think you need to listen to a lot because I have this problem because I'm a little lazy to put my headphone in the and listen to a lot because when I go to the gym, if I put my headphone, the music there, the sound is so loud, it's difficult to understand what the thing, the podcast or something here. Then I give up to do that. And in the house, always my family around me. Then if I am at the house, headphone is difficult too. Then I'm a little lazy with this. When I wanted to listen something, I put it's okay, some short video, it's okay, but I need to have more this time because in English it's so difficult to understand everything, especially music. When I wanted to listen some music, I need to pay attention. I need to listen one more time to understand, because there are a lot of words that I doesn't understand. And in Spanish, Italian is easier. Then I think, oh, it's okay, because I'm understand everything. But I think it's different. When you listen, you understand, but you need to put in practice. Don't matter if you understand everything. You need to put in practice. And another one, you will have more. Music help with language learning for you, Lucas. You said that you learn a lot, you listen a lot. It help you.
Yes, I like to learn with music. I think in the last week I was trying to understand the Eminem music. It's almost impossible because he he sing very fast,
Yeah.
and I started and I stopped the music and I returned. Oh, I need to understand this, and I like to see the lyrics,
Yeah.
try to assimilate the word and the pronounce. It's very good. It's a good way to study, but it's very hard because, as Christian said, I don't know why, but in English they don't speak what is right,
Yeah.
and this is don't make sense. It's the pronounce it's very different, and it's hard to assimilate.
Yeah, sometimes I'm watch some video, then I put without subtitles. Then oh my gosh, what did the people said? What the guy said? Then I back then put the subtitle. What? This word is not hard. I always listen this word, but depend of the day, the way, I don't know, is the pronunciation is different, depend of accent. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you, Christian, do you like podcasts? Do you like music? How is better for you to learn, to make your input?
Well, I would say that listening to music, it's okay for someone that already have some high level of English because it's not good for beginners. Because in music, in different music or different songs, the artists use a lot of slangs and a lot of I would say difficult words, and as well, not all of the songs are well written if we talk about grammar, because there are sometimes that they just need to put the phrase together to 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 make sense or go to the rhythm, and they make mistakes for on purpose just because of that. So I would say that for someone that is just beginning this journey of learning English in this case, it's not good to start with music. In my opinion, it's better to start with podcasts when there is someone that is speaking, maybe slowly, but that person is trying to pronounce the correct words and using the correct phrases. That's why I don't consider listening to music for beginners. By the way, I still have problems trying to understand new songs in English. That it's because they use different slang, different expressions that I don't know, right?
Mhm.
So I prefer, in my opinion, in my case, I prefer listening to podcasts. As I already said,
Mhm.
I try to listen at least one or two podcasts while I'm working. It's not like I am just concentrated on the podcast. For example, I put the podcast in the background and I continue working. So my mind is trying to understand or trying to absorb all of the information that the podcast or the person it's conveying to me. And that's the way that I practice or that I improve my listening skill.
Yeah, I agree with you, because for me it's so difficult to understand just because of this part, this link, the words. you need to stay more advanced to understand that. There's a time I always said I need to make a course to understand music because it's a little bit impossible to understand. Then I need to pay more attention or make a course to understand that. I don't do that. You said already about this, and then now another one. What do you think about the student grammar? Oh, it's essential. You already said this. We consider ourselves. Oh, when you can consider fluent? What do you need to understand you are fluent, Lucas?
Well,
When do you realize
I
this?
think it's very hard to think because I don't know what is fluent. It's like who can speak in English, who can understand, who have a lot of vocabulary. Because when you are studying, it's a process. So we started to learn, and we need to get vocabulary. So I don't know how to say during the process, during the study process, we continuously get new words, new vocabulary, new phrases, and this will make your English skills better. But I don't know. I can speak in English, so I don't know. I know about 4,000 English words. Next year, I will try to know 5,000 English words, and this is keeping uh, increasing. And I don't know when I can consider fluent when I know 10,000 English words. When it's very hard to think.
Yeah, I'm not consider myself fluent, but when I start to make some conversation, I realized that I was uh, understanding, put myself to understand. Then I feel, oh my gosh, I can do this. In this way, I can practice, I can make conversation. I think this time I realized that I was start my process to be fluent one day, but you need to study a lot because at the beginning you think, oh, 6 months, 1 year, if I study every day and 1 year I will be fluent and it's okay, don't need to study anymore. But it's not true. You need to study, you need to practice every day, every month, always you need to have this some words or something in your mind to put your mind in contact of the language that you are learning or something like that. I don't like to say I'm studying this language. I like to say I'm learning new words. I'm learning a new way to talk. I'm learning this context. It's not to study this language. I think for me it's better because if I make communication, it's okay. And your question?
Well, that's a difficult question because, in my opinion, the fluency doesn't is not related with your English level because,
Yeah.
for example, it could be a person who has A1 or E2 level of English, but that person is really confident in communication. Maybe you know more words than that person, or you know how to write difficult sentences in English using past perfect, using present perfect, imperatives, etc. But that person speak better than you in her or his level. That person is more fluent like you, even though you know more about grammar part. So I think that one person that is able or is capable to convey or transmit uh, his or her ideas in a right way without hesitating, without having problems about understanding the questions. I think that we could consider that person fluent, a person who can hold a conversation, a whole conversation, can receive information, uh, process that information, and get respond when with something with that response, right? With his or her own response. So I consider all of you fluent because we are having a whole conversation here. We are expressing our ideas, we're expressing our feelings. Obviously, we make a lot of mistakes. That it's normal because nobody is perfect. Even native English speakers make mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
So I think that's the problem. We expect to be perfect, even though native speakers are not perfect, right? So in my opinion, all of us here in this room we are fluent in English. I don't know the level, but we are fluent.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And when you are so tired, you need to study. What do? Don't study, or you study different? You trying to find another ways to study. How do you manage this tired time? Lucas can respond.
I I have a difficulty because I when I'm too tired, it's very hard to study and to really study, to get the word to fix in my mind. So when I feel very tired, I prefer don't study. But I have a problem because if I don't study one day, and the second day I don't study too. And when I see it's almost 1 week and I don't study English, and this is this is terrible. So yeah, but when I feel very tired, I prefer don't study. I think it's don't will be a good moment to study. I don't will retain what I need.
But when you feel you are so tired, it's depend of the time. It's not so tired because you are having work a lot, but only mental tired maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
If you start to study, it's don't change, because sometimes when I feel, oh my gosh, I don't want to study, I don't want to participate. Then I go when I come to start, it's changed. Then I feel so good in this time. It's okay. But if I try and don't participate, it's okay. I'm procrastinated and I left for tomorrow, and tomorrow then it's
One
happening,
thing,
maybe.
one thing that I like to do is put on YouTube English videos about something that I like, and I need to look like sports. I like sports, so I like to watch English channels talk about sports, soccer, and I think it's a good way that I have to study English and don't study English in the same time because
Yeah.
I'm watching something that I like.
Yeah, it's a good way because you're trying to find something is more. You realize that it's different
Yeah.
than the way that you are studying. You're trying to have fun. And your question.
Yeah, I think that I do the same because sometimes we just consider studying like be in front of your desk or be in front in a whiteboard or with your book open and with another book, né? Right? So I would say that it's not like that. We consider nowadays that kind of old-fashioned way to study. So when I am really tired, I think, okay, I don't want to study grammar anymore. I just put something, as Lucas said, something that I really enjoy to do. For example, I really like to listen podcasts about learning languages. It could be nice for me. But sometimes I just put or watch a movie. What a movie with my wife, but I change the language to English and I put lyrics in Portuguese for my wife. In another way, I am indirectly studying English because everything is in English. I am trying to understand that. and then I enjoying the time because it's a movie. It's not like, okay, you have to write sentence in present continuous, past continuous. Obviously, I get tired about that kind of exercises. As well, I enrolled or subscribed in different YouTube pages, as well different Instagram pages, and as well TikTok pages, where that are short videos. But in some short videos, there are a lot of good teachers that can teach you something in a short
Yeah.
video, like 1 minute, as a
Yeah.
1 minute, and it's so interesting because even though you are resting, you are in your bed, maybe you are looking at or checking your cell phone, you can see one teacher that is gonna maybe teach you something interesting that you didn't know, but in just 1 minute. And you are studying at that time, but just for 1 minute. And sometimes it's enough to learn or fix some information in your mind.
Yeah, because it's easier to enjoy more this time. I put here this two podcasts that I like so much to follow. I had followed a lot listening time because a guy put some argument, some topic that the guy explain all the grammar, all the steps to learn. Is so at the beginning more slowly, and after change it to more fast. And another 6 minutes English is more to pay more attention. You need to be more advanced, and I think because there is some word that is difficult to understand, but always you need to pay attention because there a question in the middle of the topic, then you need to pay attention to write to answer. Then I like so much this. And okay, thank you so much because the time is go on. You need to go on. You need to start another. Thank you so much, Lucas. Any questions to stay here? It was a good way. Thank you. I wanted to see another